Hey, homeschool families, it's the Homeschool Help Desk. It's been a while since I've did one of these videos. I just wanted to come back out here and add another state to our list of the different states we've gone through. We're starting a new year coming up. This is 2026, 2027 school year, about to start off for a lot of people. We are, hitting that time period. So just wanted to hit another state for you guys. I know we've covered a lot around where we live in Pennsylvania. So here's one other one for you. Kind of just go ahead and get started. Just a heads up, I'm not illegal. This isn't legal advice. This isn't anything like that. This is just information for you to help make your own decisions, as well as be better prepared for if you're ready to make this move, to talk to people so that you're fully aware of what's going on. Links will be down in the description for where I've gotten my information from. So let's go ahead and get started. West Virginia. I know we've covered New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. I think we covered Virginia. It's been a while. My apologies, everybody out there. So I figured let's go ahead and cover West Virginia. West Virginia is one of those that, looking at it, it's not as strict as some of the other states like Pennsylvania on information, but it's lenient when it comes to extracurricular activities like Pennsylvania. Some of these other states, as we've already discussed, you can't play, for example, sports. You can't play baseball. You can't play basketball if you're homeschooled because you're not at the school. So let's go ahead and get started. School age requirements: ages 6 to 17 have to go to school. That's the compulsory school age. You have to file a notice of intent. That is a one-time thing, though. Unlike Pennsylvania, where you have to keep filing something every year saying my child is still being homeschooled, this is a one-year thing. There are three options for homeschooling. Homeschooling can be done, or to request for homeschooling: the notice of intent, which is what we just talked about being a one-time thing; seek school board approval, which is the most stringent thing out there. Things that I were reading about is that's can be easily declined by the board if they have a reasonable justification and they send it to you. And then also submit, excuse me, homeschool by Learning Pod. I kind of figured this as being, sorry, I got my notes here, so that's why I keep looking down. I kind of see this as maybe being like a co-op type thing, a home pod. Um, you file your notice, you submit. You have to have a qualified person. It's the same thing for when you submit your notice of intent. So with both the home pod and notice of intent, you file your notice, you assess annually, and this is something like taking a normal standardized test. Involves recognized tests. Iowa test is an example that I saw. Basic skills, I would assume that the CAT test would be something similar. Tests must cover reading, language arts, math, science, and social studies. Uh, Parents administer them themselves. You can take your child to an in-state school testing program. I'm assuming like TOS down in Texas, PSSAs in Pennsylvania, something like that. Portfolio review: a certified teacher or someone who with equivalent qualifications uh, can review your child's work, including schoolwork and other teaching materials gathered throughout the year. People like this one when they take a non-traditional approach to learning, project-based type thing like that. Alternative academic assessments include college entrance exams, grades from accredited online courses, a performance log, or other methods approved in advance by the county superintendent. So that is with that information. Plus, you need to submit them on the third, fifth, and eighth, and 11th grade by June 30th. So when those years are done, you need to get those in by June 30th to show that you're actually doing the schoolwork stuff. Uh, Next, we were talking about before, qualified person. Records must be retained for 3 years. That is their statute of limitations on records, record retention policies. So 3 years, you want to keep that. I'm surprised it's not longer, but it is. They have reasons, I guess, to do that. You can get textbook assistance. So similar to Pennsylvania, where you can go to the school district and request the same schooling that your child would get if they were actually at the physical school, you can request that information as well to use that. Um, it should be provided by the county for books and teaching materials. Children can also take classes offered by the county board technical education if approved. So you're not totally locked out of different things to do. Pennsylvania has kind of just opened this up as well, where you don't have to be locked into being homeschooled, so you can't take anything at the schools. As of June 9th, 2023, the House Bill 2820 Hope Scholarship, Micro School, and Learning Pod students can participate in athletics and extra activities subject to restrictions. Used to only be home instruction, and you had to be enrolled in and had to be enrolled in one virtual instruction course per semester. It's recommended to keep attendance records, info on the textbooks, sample schoolwork, correspondence, portfolios, and other documentation proving proper education. So in my opinion, I would keep that longer than a lot further along the road. I would keep this a little bit further down the road. I would say, don't keep it. Don't hit the minimum and toss it out for the 3 years. I would keep going. Um, Records must be retained. So we talked about that. When you file your notice of intent, you're confirming that your child is receiving home instruction that will cover the following areas: reading, language arts, including grammar, writing, and literature, mathematics, science, social studies, including history and civics, so government and history, health and phys ed, where expectations can vary based on your child's age and abilities. So it's not just a straight standardized thing. And then lastly, the last thing that I have to cover for West Virginia that I noticed is, and I mentioned this earlier when we were talking about school sports, the Hope Scholarship. A brief background on that: it's an education savings account program which the state allocates a portion of what would have been spent on your child's public education and deposits it into an account you control. So for last year, the 25-26 school year, each recipient received $5,267.38. Those funds can be used for a wider range of approved educational expenses, including homeschool curriculum and material, online learning programs and tuition, private school tuition, tutoring services, educational software and tools, and standardized testing fees. To be eligible, your kid must have at least 45 days of prior public school attendance, full prior year enrollment, or kindergarten entry. The scholarship is open to K-12 homeschool students, including those already homeschooling. So this is something that they had it where if you pulled your kid out, then you could get it. As of this coming school year, the 26-27 school year, they are opening it up to everybody. I think that's awesome. I think that's great. Texas does something similar. I think for Tennessee might as well. Not so much like a Hope Scholarship per se, but they offer financial assistance to homeschooling families. I would love for Pennsylvania to do that. Pennsylvania is very strict on things when it comes to what you can provide, what you can do, and what you need to do. And there's some school districts in our area that are, especially in my area where I live, that are pushing that boundary, and some families are just blindly complying with it, whereas some are actually seeking legal advice because some of that information they're not required. You're required to have it, but they can't make you push that every time you apply, if that makes sense. There's no requirements on immunization. I saw from West Virginia as well. I know that can be a touchy subject. Um, so that's how that kind of stands with West Virginia. I like the fact that they have the Hope Scholarship and that money that people can get. I mean, again, it's my argument that if you're paying school taxes, which we pay school taxes, and you're not going to school, you should be able to utilize some of that funding to help you with your teaching. You shouldn't be punished because you don't want your child going to a public school system. But also to that effect too, I see that, we're fortunate enough in Pennsylvania. West Virginia is the same way. I know New York was talking about opening that up. I don't know if they did theirs, where our child can go to schools and do different things there. Like, for instance, the baseball, basketball, things like that. My child's homeschooled. He can play basketball this year. He can play baseball when he gets old enough, and he's into the school baseball. So that's some things to keep in mind with that. Overall, West Virginia seems to be lenient, some not very loose, but not very tight on their home education requirements. Just keep that in mind. And again, if you're not sure of something, make sure you either ask the school district or you go and you seek advice from legal. There's plenty of homeschool law firms. I think there's actually one that I got my information from, some of my information from, that they put out, the hslda.org. They're one that you can look at. Some of the other information I got, please don't, this is not supposed to be political, but they put some information out there as well. Tuttle Twins, and then the West Virginia state website is where I got my information from. So hope this helps you make a decision on whether or not you want to homeschool if you live in West Virginia, or if you're moving to West Virginia, if you're a homeschool family and you need to know some information. I hope this provides at least a little bit. It's not thorough, but it kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. So I thank you guys for watching this. Please check out any of the other states and anything else that I have posted on this. This is, trying to recap some of my stuff that I've done family wise, but then there's times that I forgot to even post anything. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great one.